America's top two military officials are in Tel Aviv today, currently, as we speak, pushing the Israeli government to change tactics in its war with Hamas. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Joint Chiefs Chairman General C.Q. Brown will be pressing the Netanyahu government to clearly define its milestones and objectives for the war as it continues to wage on. For more, let's bring in Ambassador John Bolton here. Ambassador Bolton served as U.S. National Security Advisor during the Trump administration and was the U.S. Ambassador to the UN under George W. Bush. Ambassador, good to have you on. Just a caveat, we are waiting for Lloyd Austin's live comments, so my early apologies if we have to dip out of you and go there live. The Biden administration is really pressing Israel to move on to the next phase of this war. In your eyes, what does that look like, and how receptive is Netanyahu to this current pressure?
Well, I think it's very unfair, and I think contradicts the early support that President Biden gave to Israel. He knows exactly what Israel's objectives are. They're to eliminate Hamas as a political and military force. How long will that take? It'll take as long as it takes if you acknowledge that that's a legitimate objective for Israel, which the president did. I think this is very politically motivated. I think it has to do with the split within the Democratic Party. I think as a military matter, it makes no sense at all when you're engaged directly in combat in a very complex environment like this. The idea that you can phase in time and calibrate the way we appear to be asking the Israelis to do is just unrealistic and unfair.
Yeah, we'll see what he has to say, Lloyd Austin and also other top U.S. officials when we hear them speak in just moments from now. Secretary Austin will also be pressuring Israel about the metrics being used to determine when that transition is going to start. What kinds of milestones are we talking about here, Ambassador?
Well, look, I think they want less visible military activity, certainly from the air. But I don't think we know enough about what Hamas's defensive positions are. We can't tell exactly what's going to be necessary. The Israelis don't have a better idea today in some places in the Gaza Strip than they did when this began. And I really think what the administration is saying to Israel is, yeah, sure, you're entitled to self-defense up to a point. And the whole idea that international pressure on Israel is building puts them in a position that's intended to put them in a position where they can't continue. I think they should just ignore the pressure. I think they should explain to the United States they are trying to operate within the law of armed conflict. If the Secretary of Defense has an example where they didn't, he should tell them. But if he's just saying, basically, be a little bit more gentle in how you handle Hamas, I think that's just backseat driving of the worst kind.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.